مرحبا بكم جميعا. أنا الدكتور محمد أسامة الرشدان من قسم الطب النفسي. موضوع محاضرة اليوم عن circadian rhythm and sleep. السلايدز تم تحضيرهم من الدكتور رضوان بني مصطفى، وهو استشاري في الطب النفسي. He is our senior psychiatrist. I am going to be presenting the lecture for today. To start with, the concept of homeostasis. So homeostasis refers to the body's ability to maintain internal equilibrium through active regulation of various systems, including the cardiovascular function, body temperature, food and energy regulation, and fluid electrolyte balance. The diagram illustrates the feedback mechanisms, sensors which detect changes, brain processes or brain processing the information, and the effectors that act to restore the correct level or set points. The set points are dynamic and adapt to daily rhythms, ensuring efficient energy use. For example, during sleep, body temperature, heart rate, and respiration decrease to conserve energy. A summary of homeostatic control. This is just a brief review. So homeostasis is vital for survival, involves multiple mechanisms to maintain internal balance. It is important to know that the set points are not fixed. They can adjust or can be adjusted based on the activity levels and the daily rhythms. As we said, during sleep, physiological functions like body temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate may be decreased to promote energy reservation. As far as biorhythms, biological rhythms are natural cycles that regulate various functions, such as the circadian rhythm, that's the day and night cycle, and circannual rhythms, or the annual or yearly cycles. Circadian rhythms influence body temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate, and sleep, while the circannual rhythms can regulate hibernation, mating, and migration. Now, these concepts, hibernation, mating, migration, apply more to, animal species, and not specifically to human beings, clearly. So these rhythms are closely related or linked to environmental factors like the light and dark cycles and seasonal changes. So circadian rhythms are biological processes that follow a 24-hour cycle, and these are influenced by the light and dark cycle. The suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN, in the hypothalamus acts as the body's biological clock, regulating these rhythms. Even with optic tract lesions or injuries, circadian rhythms persist, though their periodicity can change. However, suprachiasmatic nucleus lesions will affect and may even abolish these rhythms entirely, highlighting the suprachiasmatic nucleus's critical role. So this nucleus, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, is located in the hypothalamus, above the optic chiasm, and is a central regulator of circadian rhythms. The suprachiasmatic nucleus cells exhibit oscillatory activity, which is synchronized to the light and dark cycle under normal conditions. In constant light or dark environments, circadian rhythms persist, but may deviate from the typical 24-hour cycle. In mammals, light information reaches the suprachiasmatic nucleus via a direct pathway from the eyes, even in the absence of rods and cones, indicating the presence of other light-sensitive receptors. In non-mammalian species, such as amphibians or reptiles, they have photoreceptors outside the eyes, like the pineal gland, which is also light-sensitive. Sleep follows a free-running rhythm of approximately 25 hours. The light-dark cycle entrains it into a 24-hour periodicity through the suprachiasmatic nucleus activity. Rapid changes in the light-dark cycle, such as during jet lags, will disrupt this rhythm, requiring a few days for re-entrainment. Early studies by Bremer suggested that sleep occurs due to the absence of sensory input, leading to cortical quiescence. Later research by Morozzi and Magon demonstrated that the midbrain contains an activating system that keeps the cortex awake. Lesions in this area cause persistent sleep, while electrical stimulation can wake sleeping animals. In normal sleep, sleep usually consists of cycles of non-REM and REM phases, with each phase characterized by distinct EEG patterns. REM refers to rapid eye movement in sleep studies. The sleep length decreases with age, that is the sleep duration, and the first cycle typically involves 15 to 20 minutes to fall asleep, followed by 45 minutes to reach deep sleep, which are stages 3 and 4, and then the first REM stage after 90 minutes. So sleep has certain characteristics, and these are usually defined by wave patterns and other physiological changes that occur during sleep. The wave patterns are picked by EEG recording or electroencephalogram recording. So there is slow wave sleep, which is the non-REM sleep. This is characterized by reduced spinal reflexes, the heart rate, the breathing rate, and the brain's temperature, in addition to cerebral blood flow. Growth hormone here increases and cortical activity becomes synchronized. In REM sleep, there is rapid eye movement. There is an increase in the body temperature and in cerebral blood flow. There is dysynchronized cortical activity, and there is the occurrence of vivid dreams. So just to reiterate this, in REM sleep or rapid eye movement sleep, spinal reflexes are absent. Rapid eye movements behind closed eyelids, increases increase in body temperature and cerebral blood flow, dysynchronization of cortical activities, and the occurrence of dreams. So dreams or dream activity occurs during rapid eye movement, and these usually are vivid, often emotional, and can be influenced by external stimuli. They are easier to recall and may involve sleep paralysis in some instances. Non-REM sleep dreams are less structured, often without a storyline, and are typically not recalled. Night terrors. These are a type of non-REM sleep dreams. So night terrors are a type of non-REM sleep dreams, and they are characterized by intense fear and confusion. In normal night sleep, the sleep cycles progress throughout the night, with REM latency typically lasting about 90 minutes, 45 minutes to reach deep sleep, and another 45 minutes to enter into REM phase or REM stage sleep. As the night progresses, REM periods become longer, while deep sleep stages 3 and 4, become shorter and then eventually disappear. Sleep becomes lighter and dreams become more frequent. Now, as far as brain activity during sleep, as it is recorded by an EEG, electroencephalogram, the patterns change during sleep stages. So during the wake phase or the awake phase, the waves are usually low amplitude and high in frequency. During light sleep, there is increase in amplitude and decreased frequency. As sleep goes into a deeper stage, there is high amplitude and low frequency. Then the REM sleep shows low amplitude, high frequency, which is almost similar to wakefulness. Sleep involves active neuronal processes with synchronous firing during slow wave sleep and dysynchronized activity during REM sleep. Sleep is not a passive state, but actually involves abundant neuronal activity, as is shown by EEG recordings. So let's just emphasize that once more. Sleep is not a passive state, but actually involves abundant neuronal activity, as is shown and evident by EEG recordings. Slow wave sleep is characterized by synchronous cortical activity, while REM sleep shows dysynchronized activity. The reticular formation plays a key role in regulating sleep, with different brain regions contributing to various sleep stages. So the slide shows again slow wave sleep, which is non-REM, and then REM sleep, the different characteristics of each of these different types of sleep. The neuronal circuitry controlling sleep. The cortex remains awake due to ascending activation from the midbrain. Serotonin, 5-HT, inhibits the midbrain activating system, and that promotes sleep. So serotonin inhibits the midbrain, and that actually leads promotion of sleep. Stimulation of areas surrounding the suprachiasmatic nucleus induces slow wave sleep, while specific brainstem areas are essential for rapid eye movement sleep. The neurotransmitters which are involved in sleep regulation are many. We're just going to mention some of them that have fundamental roles in sleep and sleep regulation. So 5-HT, which is also known as serotonin, promotes slow wave sleep by inhibiting the reticular activating system. Noradrenaline or norepinephrine may inhibit muscle tone during REM sleep. Dopamine promotes general arousal, while acetylcholine induces REM sleep. So this is just an outline of the different roles of some of the key neurotransmitters that are thought to play a role in sleep and sleep regulation. Sleep-promoting substances like melatonin and delta sleep-inducing peptide modulate the circadian rhythms. Some common sleep disorders include insomnia, which is basically a reduction or absence of sleep, and this may be transient or persistent. On the opposite end is hypersomnia. The extreme form would be narcolepsy, and this involves excessive drowsiness and sudden sleep onset. The third type of sleep disorders are sleep-wake schedule disturbances, often transient but can persist. An example of that is jet lags. Then there are partial arousal disorders, including sleepwalking, nightmare disorders. These are often linked to anxiety, psychological disturbances, or substance use, or some medications. Treatment options for sleep disorders are actually beyond the scope of this lecture. However, in general, they include non-medication interventions like behavioral modification. An example of that is called CBT for insomnia. CBT stands for Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for Insomnia. And then there are sleep hygiene principles that are usually explained to individuals who have sleep disorders. This approach is the non-medication based approach. And then there are certain medications that can be used when conservative measures don't work. In any case, the treatment of sleep disorders is beyond the scope of this presentation. This slide is just an example of one of the methods that are applied to help individuals who have sleep disorders, especially insomnia. This is called sleep hygiene guidelines, and they are usually explained to individuals, and individuals are encouraged to adhere by these recommendations in an attempt to improve their sleep quality. Thank you, and good luck.